What's up, everybody, and welcome to the very first episode of the Buckaroo Podcast, which is so doomed for failure. Let's go. All right, what's good? First episode, hey? Yeah, started this podcast. I've done a few test takes now, just getting like everything set up, and it turns out that this is way harder than I thought it would be. Like, just on top of like the editing and making sure the sound, sounds good. There's lots of things you learn about yourself right away. I knew that I hated the sound of my voice when I heard it on recordings. But then when I have to listen to it in my ears in real time to monitor the audio, it's 10 times worse. So to anybody that listens to this, which will probably just be my mom and I don't know, maybe some stalker that I have or something, sorry right away about having to listen to my voice. You know, I sound like I have COVID. Yeah, I mean, I've sounded like I've had a cold pretty much since the day I was born, and it's mostly because like my Owen Wilson nose is like collapsed on one side and stuff, but that's cool, you know. So yeah, I learned that my voice is worse than I thought it was. And I also learned after, having to film myself that my top teeth never show unless I smile. So all you can see when I talk is like my bottom teeth. You don't see the pretty upper teeth, and that, it makes me look like a mouth breathing knuckle dragger a little bit. But that's cool, man, because I'm doing it anyway. Doesn't matter. It's, new year, 2022. Done a few test episodes, and mostly I've had to, throw them in the bin forever because I said way too many things that would get me canceled right away. Right away. I would have been canceled first episode for sure. I said the word retard way too much, which, to be fair, it's gonna keep happening. But it was too much, I went full retard per se. I also made fun of like Caitlyn / Bruce Jenner, which is probably gonna come up again too. But maybe I could be a little bit more subtle about it. I don't know. But yeah, New Year's. I didn't do too much for New Year's. We just kind of went out to like a little restaurant / bar thing out on the patio. It was nice. It wasn't too busy. Got some fake champagne. Like it wasn't fake, but it can't be champagne unless it comes from some small town in France or something. So I've heard. I don't really know if that's true or if that's just something that white people that I know say. But regardless, I guess we had Prosecco, and that was good, but it went down way, way too fast. Like way too easy, right? Like I think it was like definitely between 5 and 6 minutes that the bottle was gone. And I drank most of it. And that leads to a little bit of a slippery slope where the beers started going down really easy after that too. And I didn't want to get drunk. I wanted to do stuff the next day, but one thing led to the next. And I got the spins when I got home. And that's not cool because I'm not a puker at all. Some people, like, while they're drinking, they'll just go like, puke in the bush or puke mid-sentence and then they're good to go. I'm not that kind of girl. It takes a lot for me to puke. And if I do puke while I'm drinking, I don't feel better after. If I puke, it's over. And it also takes me a long time to puke. And so I'll have the spins and start moaning and doing weird shit. And it's just, yeah, it's not good. But didn't puke, just had the spins, and I was good. It worked out fine. I was hungover for 2 days after. That's usually how it goes with me. Because I'm old, man. I'm young, but I'm old. But I'm still really young, So every time I get shit-faced, I have to pay for that with 2 days of my life. For, if I want to have 4 or 5 hours of fun, 2 days of my life. It's expensive in that sense. So I don't do it that much anymore because I'm cheap. So I don't want to pay 2 days to just get like 4 or 5 hours. That ain't me. But it happened on New Year's. It was an occasion, so I let it slip a little bit. We just went out to a nice little place. And then my buddy, who he's got a girlfriend and he's got a daughter. They had a daughter. She's 1.5 years. And they brought her to this bar. They didn't have a sitter, or it doesn't really matter here. Like, people bring their kids to the bar all the time. It's a little bit weird, but is what it is. And she might be the funniest kid I've ever seen. She, usually, like, when you see someone coming with a kid to somewhere where a kid shouldn't be, you're like, oh, fuck the fucking kid, And you could tell that everyone on the patio kind of felt that when they came rolling up with a stroller, But she won everybody on the patio over right away, and all of a sudden everybody was watching her every move with a big smile on their face. Thought it was hilarious, because she has like resting bitch face to the max. She's 1.5 years and she looks like a Karen, even though her name is Sandra, which is, let's be honest, that name is just one step below Karen. Like Sandra would be Karen's friend in the typical situation, And so I guess maybe the name fits because she has resting bitch face hard. And I'm allowed to say that I have a pass because that's the inside joke with my buddy is that, his daughter looks like a bitch. But it's hilarious, man, because she just like, she's got the bitch face on, right? And then when someone, like when the waitresses would come up and try and be like cute and be like, oh, hi, her eyebrows would just drop down a couple levels and she'd seem a little bit more pissed. And they'd be like, oh, fucking, this kid looks like she wants to talk to a manager or something. And so the waitresses would be like, oh, whoops. And then everybody on the patio would think it was hilarious. I thought it was hilarious. It was great. And then, next thing you know, everyone on the patio was watching the kid. The kid was the entertainment for everybody. It's pretty great. There's another thing you learn on podcasts, especially when you just start out. Probably shouldn't be giving people's names out, I'm going to end up ratting out so many people on this fucking podcast. Oh, sorry, everybody. And I'm not just saying sorry because I'm Canadian, but, sorry. Because some stories are going to slip out. Some things are going to slip out. I'm going to give away too many details. I'll probably give out too many details about my family, my friends. So, I guess I'm going to have to be prepared to lose some of those people. but they'll be fine with it. They'll get over it. It's all good. But yeah, man, New Year's, another year older, you know, and I'm finally starting to, I still feel young inside, but I'm starting to notice that I am my age exactly, if not more, maybe, possibly, even though I'm still young. Like a couple days after 2022 hit, I started taking finasteride. And if you don't know what finasteride is, it's Propecia. And if you don't know what Propecia are pills that old dudes take to make their hair grow back. And number one side effect of finasteride is that your dick just stops working. Like it never existed. I don't know. I did the research. I weighed the pros and cons. It was mostly cons, and it's pretty terrifying. But, you know, I'm starting to go bald like a little bit. So maybe it's worth it. I don't know. But you know, I gotta get on top of this stuff. And I'm terrified about it, but hey, new year, new me, new dick that might not work. We'll see. If it stops working, I'll just like mainline Viagra and stop taking it. And in the meantime, I'll just have to test that my dick is working like every 3 to 4 hours every day. You know, just give it. I mean, as long as I'm not somewhere that I'll get arrested, I'll be giving it a test. Because I can't let him die. I'm too young, even though I'm old. I'm too young. I can't lose my dick. But I'm risking it because it's worth it. For my hair. Moving on. Yeah. So for this new year, like I'm not the type of guy that, or person, because everybody seems to kind of be like this. I'm not the type of person that, you know, when New Year's hits or like there's some sort of holiday that all of a sudden they just like change everything about themselves, or like, you know, the New Year's resolution type, and usually they fail. Not really that type, but I did, you know, I've been putting off shedding a bit of the dad bod for long enough, so I decided I'm just gonna eat a little bit cleaner and up my cardio a little bit. And I have this pool at my condo, and it's hot as shit where I live. Hottest place on the planet. When I tell people it's hot here, they're like, "Oh yeah, I know what you mean. Like I've been to Mexico," and it's not Mexico here. It's way hotter than that. It's so hot. And I have a pool downstairs, so I was like, that's perfect because I can't run when it's 10,000 degrees. So I'll just use my pool for cardio. And so I went on the Googles and I just checked out what are the best swimming goggles for dudes. And the number one was some goggles made by Speedo, which I was confused about, but I was like, I trusted it, I guess, and I bought them. And they came in a couple days, and I was like, perfect. Time to start doing some cardio. And so I slapped on the goggles, and I went down there, and I jumped in the pool. And I found out within half a lap that I can't swim. So I grew up, okay, at a lake for my summer vacations, right? We had a tiny little cabin out at the lake, and we'd be out there for the summer because it was close to like where we lived. And I would be in the lake every day that it was nice of the summer, swimming. So every summer from when I was 0 years old until I got my driver's license and I was like, I'm doing whatever I want. I was out at the lake swimming. And then I went to do cardio, found out I can't swim. And as soon as I found out that I couldn't swim, I couldn't help it, but this was instantly in my brain.
Uh-oh, retard alert.
I'm fucking retarded. I'm a grown man and I can't swim. And it hurts. You know, because, I mean, when you meet another grown adult and they tell you that they don't know how to swim, I know the first thing in your head is,
uh-oh, retard alert.
It is. You're a grown person, human, and you can't swim?
Uh-oh, retard alert.
And they could say, oh, well, you know, I didn't grow up near water, you know, I lived in a big city. Okay.
Uh-oh, retard alert.
If you're an adult and you can't swim, you're retarded. And right in that first half a lap, I did like a couple strokes, and then I came up for the breath thing, and water in my lungs, in my nose, and then into my lungs through my nose, and then also in the number one goggles made for men. Thanks, Speedo. And that was when I knew I was retarded. And see, it's saying things like this that make me think right away, I'm getting canceled instantly. It's happening fast. Am I allowed to say that word on YouTube? We'll find out. I don't know if Spotify will allow it, but we'll see. I'm pushing the limits. You know, I guess we'll see how many friends or family members I lose in a quick time period. That'll tell me if I'm doing something right. But yeah, I can't help it. I'm speaking authentically, and I just recently found out I was retarded. So, you know, don't hate on me for that. I'm thinking maybe I should get I should get someone to coach me in swimming. Maybe I'll get my dad to coach me. He's just one of those guys, like, he's got a weird superpower, you know? It doesn't matter what kind of water he's in, he can just open his eyes underneath and it doesn't burn his eyes. It doesn't matter if he's in the ocean or like where the chlorine, just smelling the chlorine will burn your eyes. He's good, just wide open eyes. So he swims for cardio. He's good. He can coach me. He's coached me in a lot of stuff. I saw this meme not too long ago. And the meme said, my dad, or no, it didn't start with my dad. The meme said, my coach used to make me do laps for showing up late. My dad was the coach and he drove me to practice. And the meme went viral and everyone loved it. And I had flashbacks of my childhood because that straight up happened to me. My dad is late for everything ever. We went to almost every practice late and even some tournaments. And he was the coach and he would make me skate extra laps for being late. I don't hold it against him, but hey, fuck you,
Oh, hey, fuck you.
Who does that to their child? I don't know, maybe a good coach. I don't know. He probably just didn't want to seem like he was giving me special treatment or whatever. But yeah, my dad is he's an accidentally funny dude. He's an accidentally funny man. He can be funny, but most of the time he's accidentally funny. Like he admitted to me not long ago that I had this friend when I was growing up. And me and this friend, apparently when we were little kids, like really young, maybe like first or second grade, I don't know. But we would get into fist fights all the time with each other. We would just get into little tussles. And apparently my dad thought that was hilarious. So if my mom was at work or whatever and it was just my dad watching me, he would say, hey, Hunter, what's your friend so-and-so doing? Maybe you should invite them over to play. And I'd be like, yeah, for sure. And so I'd call him up, he'd come over, and within like 20 minutes, we would be fist fighting each other over something, having a little squabble. And my dad would watch that for entertainment because he thought it was hilarious. So it turns out my dad was running a fight club for extremely young children in our living room involving his son. And I probably didn't win much. I probably didn't make him that proud because, you know, I was a really small kid, you know, but now I'm 6'1".
Oh, shit!
Are you proud now, Dad? I'm not gonna lie, my neighbors probably just heard me scream that because I'm in a condo, and they probably feel really bad for me that I'm still trying to make my dad proud, you know. But yeah, man, my family's pretty accidentally funny. It's pretty great. My sister, my fucking sister, dude, she has this thing where she has to tell everybody about the dream she had every day. Every single time she wakes up, she'll call people to tell them about their dream or about her dream. And her dreams always suck. It's hard to tell a story about a dream and keep people interested. And my sister doesn't even try to keep people interested, man. Like, okay, this is my sister. I swear to God, this is my sister telling me about her dream all the fucking time.
Have you ever had a dream that you want him to do you so much you could do anything?
Don't tell me about your dreams if that's the story, right? But she doesn't get it, man. She literally fucking called me 2 days ago and she was just like, okay, I have to tell you this story. She was like, I need to call you because I need to tell you this story. So my boyfriend stayed over last night. And this morning, when we woke up, he left early in the morning and I walked him out and he said, you should probably lock the door behind you. And I guess she thought that was really weird because he's never said that to her before. I don't know. She's a girl. She maybe took it as a sign or something. So she was like, whatever, a little bit freaked out by that. But I guess she locked the door. And then as she was going upstairs, she heard a gunshot. And it freaked her out, but she didn't think too much of it because she was still tired. So she went up and went back to sleep. And then she said she woke up to a lady screaming, saying, please don't, I have a kid. And then hearing another gunshot. And then she was all freaked out. And then she says this to me. I swear to God this was real. And as soon as she said, I swear to God this was real, I was like, this bitch just tricked me into listening to one of her dream stories. What the fuck? You know, okay, she's gotten to the point now where she knows that nobody wants to hear about her dream stories, so she has to trick people into hearing her dream stories. I'm so ashamed. This is why our whole family has a joke that she's adopted. It's not for any specific reason. It's just like, what the fuck, you know? Good God, man. You know, I swore when I started to make this, or when I came up with the idea that I was going to talk in a room by myself like a fucking psycho, that I would keep it lighthearted, keep politics out of it, right? Just kind of make like a little bit of a goofy, funny, rambling show. And that was that. But I'm starting to realize that it's going to be almost impossible to keep any kind of politics out of this because of how polarized or whatever everything's gotten, especially in the States. And you can't avoid the media and whatever else is happening in the States because it gets crammed down your throat. So I'm probably not going to be able to take politics completely out of this show, but I'm going to do my best to keep it completely out, except for one person, because this politician or whatever it is kills me, man, cracks me up. Everything this person does is, I don't even know, man. Like, I swear to God, they're trolling everybody. It's like, I don't know. Anyway, so my friend sent me this and was like, you got to take a look at this. This person's kind of crazy. And so I decided I was going to check it out on the show. And I know who you're thinking. You're probably thinking, well, it's Trump, obviously. It's not Trump, okay? Trump just kind of happens to be funny, and I'll probably get canceled just for saying that, but he does some shit that's pretty funny. Sometimes accidentally, sometimes on purpose. But this person isn't funny, but they do stuff that I can laugh at. So I'm going to read this tweet. So this person is responding to somebody's tweet. Oh, and just to give it away, this person is AOC. So she went down to Florida, I guess, and she's from New York. And she's like, I'm assuming she's a person that's like obsessed with whatever the mandates are and stuff with COVID, like, you know, kind of, you know, using the government dick to dick slap people into doing whatever. Anyway, so this person tweets out, and I don't know who this is because I don't know that much about American politics, but okay, so this guy says, if leftists like AOC actually thought that mandates and masking worked, they wouldn't be frolicking free in Florida. Which, I mean, that's kind of true. Like, if you're, you know, if you're so gung-ho for making everyone mask up and shutting everything down, what are you doing out in the place that you probably say is shitty and irresponsible, irregardless? You know, what are you doing down there? You know, I guess it's like the rules for thee and not for me thing that they're saying. Anyway, but this guy then goes on to make a second point. Point 2, he says her guy is showing his gross pale male feet in public, not at a pool or beach, with hideous sandals. Hey man, what? How could you think that was necessary to bring up? Anyway, the crazy thing is that that's not the weird part of all of this, because AOC, she responded with, if Republicans are mad that they can't date me, they can just say that instead of projecting their sexual frustrations onto my boyfriend's feet. Hey. Also, what? Dude. What? What, man? She is just out. AOC is just out in the middle of a field staring at the sun until she goes blind. This doesn't make any sense at all. I don't know, man. Dude. Hey, maybe you shouldn't like, desert the place that you've made a bunch of rules for and go to the place with no rules and just live it up. Hey, I'm tired of beating off all you Republicans with a stick. Dude, AOC is beating off Republicans with a stick. That's what she's doing. The Republicans are just all over her and she's just fucking beating them off with a stick. Holy shit, man. She cracks me up so much. Man, I'm going to find it on this. She made this, I saw this video one time or some of her doing like a speech and you could tell like she wanted that speech to be like part of her legacy or something, like when people look back at his politicians in the past, like back in history, and they gave these fiery speeches, you could tell that that's what she wanted from this speech. I'm going to put this on right now.
I represent one of the hardest hit communities in the hardest hit city in this country, Queens, New York. 13 dead.
Oh, the hands are moving faster.
Hospital alone.
The hands are going higher.
Is this country's future if we don't do anything? Hospital workers do not have protective equipment. We don't have the necessary.
They're getting real high. That's it, man. That was it right there. As soon as the hands, if a politician is giving a speech, as soon as the hands get above the top of the head level, they're about to go off on some shit. For sure. It happens. They're about to get way too lit.
To go into this vote, eyes wide open. What did the Senate majority fight?
Both hands moving now. Both of them. Dude. And
one of the largest corporate bailouts with as few strings as possible in American history. Shameful.
She did the shame. Dude. Man. Okay. For sure that's in her head that this is going to be shown throughout history. This speech is going to be part of her legacy, and she probably thinks part of America's history, I bet, and dude, her voice isn't there, man. She doesn't have that voice. The hands and the body language are going, but she still sounds like a fucking 10-year-old.
The greed of that fight is wrong for crumbs, for our families, and the option that we have is to either let them suffer with nothing or to allow this greed and billions of dollars, which will be leveraged into trillions of dollars, to contribute to the largest income inequality gap in our future. There should be...
Dude, she doesn't have it, okay? You're not Hitler, all right? Don't try to give speeches like Hitler. You're not as charismatic. Canceled. I'm canceled right there for sure. Cancel me. Okay? I'm just saying, that guy's speeches were lit, and AOC thought she was giving a Hitler speech. For sure. Right there. The impact. God. Amazing, man. So good. I think that's all that I can do for politics on this show. It's just like the odd thing every once in a while, probably just making fun of her because everything she does is insane. Just like this thing where she's beating off Republicans with a stick. I think she in the past, someone was like, hey, I'll pay you like 10 grand to debate me on TV. And she was like, hey, why don't you stop catcalling me? What? I think she just maybe her attempt is to just throw everyone completely off their game by saying shit that makes no sense and isn't relevant to anything that they said. That's my guess. But I can tell you one thing. Because I said AOC and I said Hitler and I said retard, I'm in big trouble. Oh man, yeah. I'm in big trouble.